I'm going to do some random pulls for Hong Kong Mahjong. If you're new to Mahjong, this is the best style to learn first. There's a link in the video description below to a lesson playlist. Watch those videos to learn the fundamentals. Also download this player reference so that you can follow along with all these exercises and learn how to play this fascinating game. If you're new to Mahjong, or if you already know how to play and just want to build your skills, consider subscribing to my channel. That way you won't miss anything. We're going to do 4 random pulls, 1 for each wind of the round. That would be east, south, west, north. We're going to roll these dice to randomize which seat we're in. I rolled a 6, 2, 4, 6. So we are going to be player 2, and it is the east round. If we get a pung or 3 of a kind of south or east, we can get score for that. So we're going to keep our eyes open for those wins. For each of these random pulls, we're going to say there's 1 fawn required to win. So we're going to look for ways to get 1 fawn. That's like a scoring element. We're going to get 13 tiles because we're non-dealer. We've got 4 flowers. These are bonus tiles. You cannot win with these in your hand. We're going to exchange them. We're player 2. We have a 3, 1, 1, 4. So even though these are pretty, it's not our seat. So we won't get score for that. But neither will the other players. So we have blocked the ability for east to get flowers. And we have 1 of the north flower and 1 of the west flower. So they won't be able to count on those for potential score. So even though it's not so good for us, it's also not so good for them. So we're going to get 4 additional tiles because you always get replacement tiles when you get a flower. So for these tiles, we have 4 cracks, 3 bams, 1 dot. We have a red dragon and a green dragon, and then we have a south and a pair of wests. We need to have 1 fawn to win. So in this case, I probably would hold the west for our pair, because you always have to have a pair, and then I would play all chow. So for this set of tiles, we've got work to do because we have 2 isolated tiles. We do have a potential chow here, and here. 1, 2, 3. Here's a 4, 5 that could be a 3, 4, 5 or a 4, 5, 6. And here we have a 5, 7 where we could use the 6 in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, but we need 5. So we're going to need tiles to use these as a chow, at least 1 of them. Either that, or we could pair up 1 of these. These are going to be valued honors for this player, this one right here in particular, because we're in south seat. So if we get a 3 of kind of that, we'll get a fawn for that. Any dragon, pung is a fawn. So if we draw 1 of those early, then I would have that be my 1 fawn, and just these would be of no value. However, if we get tiles to make 1 more chow, I would play all chow because these blocks are ready to go. Since we have 2 blocks of cracks, I think I would probably discard the 7 dot first and see if we can get cracks, because if we get all cracks, we could sacrifice these and play what's called a half flush, where you have 1 suit with winds and dragons. That is 3 fawn. If you mix suits, you drive your score down by 3 fawn. So I would take this pick by pick. I would discard this first, see if we can draw in here or here. If we happen to get a tile with the 2, like a 1 or a 3 or even a 4, then I would discard those and play all chow. This was a difficult draw, I think, because of the mixed suits. You might think all those honors look so pretty, but unless you pair them up, they're no good when you have simples, which are 2 through 8. There's one special hand that uses all those with 1s and 9s, but we are way too far from that. It's called 13 Orphans. 1 and 9 of each suit, 1 of each of the winds and dragons, and then any tile paired. We have no other 1s and 9s, so I would not even think about it here. So let's go to the next random pull. So this one is going to be for South. And this time we're going to be in East seat because I rolled a 9. You just count around the table. There's 4 players at the table. If this is 4, it's also 8, making this 9. So we're going to be the dealer. We get 14 tiles. We have 2 flowers. 2 flowers. They're both number 2, and we are in seat 1. So we're not going to get score for that. But we removed the ability for South to get flowers. Here are our replacement tiles. Bams. We've got bams here. 14 tiles. 2 dots, 4 bams with a pair, 5 cracks with a pung, 3 of a kind, that's a pung. And then here we have single honors. Let's look at chow potential. Chow is 3 in a sequence. We have none. No chow potential in here. I think what I would probably try here is either a half flush, which is 1 suit with winds and dragons, or all pung if we happen to pair up in mixed suits. I think I would start by discarding these. See about drawing in cracks and pairing up these honors and try to play a half flush or all pung. And either one of those would be 3 fawn. Since we are in the East seat, if we pair this up and pung 3 of a kind, we'll get a fawn for that alone. And since it is the South round, this is also a valued honor. We could get a fawn if we get a pung of that wind. Any pung of dragons is a fawn. Half flush, 3 fawn. All pung, if we pair up and pung, is 3 fawn. So I would hold that just to see what happens. But most likely, I think I would probably play half flush. We have a lot of discards though. So I would say this player would be an underdog for this particular hand. West round. I rolled a 6, so we're going to be player 2. Player 2, West round. I think since we have a 1 flower, no score, we should play half flush. Dots with honors, discard these. We could chow here, here, or here. As far as these honors are concerned, we would have to pair up and pung. Now, we do have a 1 crack. We have a 9 dot and these single honors. We have 1, 2, 3 terminals. Those are 1s and 9s. There's a special hand that uses terminals and 1 of each wind, which we have, and 1 of each dragon. It's called 13 orphans. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would hold the 1. If we get the 1s and 9s for the other suits and the green and red dragon, I would play 13 orphans, which is a 10 fawn hand. It's the hardest hand to get in Hong Kong Mahjong. Actually, it's one of the highest valued hands in all of Mahjong, except American Mahjong. Doesn't exist for American Mahjong. But in any other Asian variant, I believe 13 orphans is in the scoring. That is a highly coveted hand. And potential, there's potential here. But I think if we pair these up, half flesh. If we get the 1s and 9s, 13 orphans. We've got the 1, the 9, and a 1. We need a 9 crack, a 1 bam, and a 9 bam, and then the dragons. And then, of course, any one of those paired. That is a fun hand to play, and it is a thrilling ride if you can make it. North round. I rolled a 5, so we are going to be east. We'll get 14 tiles. We have no flowers. Right now, that's 1 fawn. We have 2 pair, 1, 9. I think 1, we only have 2 potential, 3 potential chows. 1, 2, 3. There's a chow right there, actually. Or we could use that as a pair, and this could be a potential chow. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So I think I would play all chow here, all 3 in a sequence. We could chow here, here, and here. Let that be the pair. And then we would need tiles for 1 of these to chow, because we need 4 sets and a pair. Right now we have only 3. So any one of these can get a tile to make a 3 in a sequence, and then we'll be ready to go. So this is not too far off. There's a little work to do, but I would play all chow here. Probably discard the north to give myself potential to create another chow with number tiles, since we already have a pair. We could even say that's our terminal or our chow, and then use this for a pair, but then we would only have 1, 2, 3 blocks. By chowing here and using this as a pair, and then maybe chowing that separately, like with a 6, then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that might get us there quicker. So that's, I think, how I would play it. I would dedicate that at the moment to a pair. Now, if we draw any other pair in here, then we can move that and say, yeah, this can be a chow. But right now, I'd rather chow it with these 2 and then draw something in to make chows out of these. I think that might be a quicker plan. Only the winner gets paid, so this is a very fast-moving game. And one of the guidelines that I've been taught is to be ready to win in 6 discards. So right now, we have 6 discards. So this is not too bad of a start. One good pick and we'd be set. I hope that gave you an idea of what it's like to play Hong Kong Mahjong. 4 sets in a pair. That's all you need. 3 in a sequence or 3 of a kind. Don't forget to download this player reference so you can learn how to play. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click that little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next set of random pulls for Hong Kong Mahjong, may all your picks be keepers.